I am Tom, and you are watching me play The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Last episode, we took out the Witcher contract here, the devil by the well, as it were. Missing in action. Yeah! Side quest first, I suppose. He's a significant way away. Hey, Roach, appearing out of nowhere as usual. She's very good at that. On the way there, in fact. Is there anything worth doing on the way there? Suppose what I could do is knock off these. Yeah. Why not, actually? Take that one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and then do the quest. I like points of interest. A little more gameplay as well in this episode. Because this game in general is going to be very story focused, unsurprisingly. You stay here, Roach. I assume it's next to a river that's going to be drowners? Indeed. Drowners.
Bastard.
Cutting up drowners. Whoop! Should be fairly easy. A la done. In fact, blowing up drowners is even more fun. Missed. I think it's actually fairly close to blowing myself up there, which is... There we go. This here is what... Whoop! That's not a very nice drowner. Did I get hit? I did get hit. Such a shame. Am I around? Something over there, which I think is the other point of interest. Some drowners over there. This chest is probably the actual treasure. Indeed. Yep, so that was the direction I was looking before. But clearly. Let's see, I think this is ghouls, if I remember correctly. So my toxicity seems very high. I know I took a decoction before, but... Yeah... Ghouls. I like ghouls. You aim for something else there. That one. Easy enough. This. Hello? Abandoned site. I think what's happened here. I'm just gonna meditate for a minute and see if another ghoul shows up. Yep. Look at that, another ghoul. Geralt? Quick, quick! Jump! Woohoo! That's not what I want. Silver sword. Thank you.
Not bad.
There we go. Decapitated. Ah, that's better. Now the people return to the site. I think that is actually a problem with this spot specifically. I remember this happening in a previous playthrough, where the ghouls didn't spawn, and I didn't have this point of interest done for a very long time, until I came back to it later, and then there was another ghoul there, which let me take it out. It's a level up. It's useful.
What?
Got anything interesting?
Probably not. No, not really. He's probably not interested in buying anything off me either. At the very least, not anything I particularly want to sell. As far as food, I'm essentially keeping anything that is 80 vitality regeneration. And water, because it's just easy to come by, so you always have a bunch of it. The reason I have these is for colouring, not for food. Because they're used in dyes, I think. Even though I don't see myself using it, it's just it's good to keep around. It's from the Blood and Wine DLC. You can dye Witcher armor into different colours. A la all of these. What's this? You know, green armor dye, orange armor dye. So you can dye your armor, which is cool. I wish it would work on other armor, so I could dye this cool Ophiri armor that I'm wearing. Speaking of which, if we go into my gear to show you what I've got. Ophiri scale armor, which ups my fire damage, and a bunch of sign intensities, essentially, and that gives me some resistance. Now I have eruption on this, which means something gets ignited by Igni, which means they have the burning proc on them. When they die, they explode. Useful. Because burning damage is percentage based, which actually makes signs incredibly powerful if you want to do a New Game Plus playthrough. Because burning creates a dot that does percentage damage, so you'll be doing like 6,000 damage per tick of the fire damage, which is significant. Gauntlets, much the same, sign intensity, upping Axie on that one. These, Igni and Ard. These, straight Igni. Swords, I have Blaive, which is a DLC weapon. I can't remember what from, I think it's from the first DLC. I'm pretty sure it's from Hearts of Stone, but I could be wrong. Which, once again, sign intensity up and plus 75 critical hit damage and critical hit chance. Silver Sword, once again, Ard, and 100% critical hit damage. And Geschäft, I think, is from Blood and Wine. And on both of these I have Severance, which increases range of Whirl and Rend. I'm not actually using Rend, but because I'm just doing fast attacks on this build. But Whirl is useful. Speaking of which, I guess what I should do is show you how my character is actually built, now that we've leveled up. So, here he is thus far. Signs, I have this, because being able to use Axie in conversations, as I said earlier, in a previous episode, it does give you a lot more experience in general, which isn't the main reason I like it. I just like the idea of being able to talk Axie my way out of situations, if it can't be bothered fighting someone, for instance. I have Puppet, which is the second level of Axie, which lets me control an ally. The main reason I've taken this is for an achievement, actually. I usually don't care about achievements in games, I find them superfluous and silly. However, I'm so close to getting all of them in The Witcher, I kind of want to just finish it. And there's an achievement to have controlled enemies, enemies under an Axie control kill their comrades, like 10 times or something. And I have Melt Armor. I'm probably actually going to go for Igni Intensity, because the main reason I want Igni is to light people on fire. This is nice, but if you proc the burn, which happens with sign intensity at scales, it's going to do more damage and go straight through armor anyway. So this is just for the initial hit, and the initial hit does so little damage with my sign intensity on this build that it's irrelevant, essentially. And these here, I have my what are they called? Alchemy, I guess? Yeah, there we go. Alchemylings. Acquired tolerance for every known first, second, and third level alchemical formula. Increase your maximum toxicity by 1. Which means you can take more potions, essentially. Although this doesn't seem to be working. You know, just do that and see if it makes a difference. Heightened tolerance, increased potion overdose threshold from 75 to 100, which means essentially if you you take toxicity damage in this game. So if you take too many potions from base, if you have 75% toxicity, you'll be taking damage. Now it's if you're 100% intoxicated. Intoxicated? I don't think that's the correct word, but in any case, that's when you'll actually start taking damage, which is essentially never. So it stops you from taking damage from toxicity, essentially. And this one here is Frenzy, when you have toxicity above 0, which is pretty much always when you're playing on Deathmarch. You'll get time slow when enemies get into a counterattack, which is incredibly powerful, but it's not actually what I want. I want to go down to Synergy, which increases these bonuses here by a fair amount. I think it's 50% at max. So these will do 60% increases rather than what they are. Now to the actual combat skill tree, we have Muscle Memory, which is fast attacks do more damage. Pretty basic. Precision Blows ups your critical chance and the critical damage. Whirl lets you do the whirl, which is the thing where I spin around with my sword and look all cool. I have Fleetfoot. Damage from hits received while dodging are reduced by 100%. I was talking about this earlier. The way I can dodge through enemy attacks, it works kind of like Dark Souls, where it gives you iframes, essentially. Because normally you would take reduced damage when you dodge through an attack. The problem with doing that on New Game Plus Deathmarch is the enemies often do so much damage that they can one-hit you. So being able to dodge through their attacks makes it infinitely nicer. Resolve. You don't lose adrenaline points when you take damage. So if something does hit me, I keep my very high critical chance, because that's the main reason adrenaline is good. You have high adrenaline, you have high crit chance. Razor Focus, you instantly gain 1 adrenaline point. Once again, adrenaline boosting things are always good. And you get more adrenaline from sword attacks. Deadly Precision. You've seen this proc a fair few times where I get instant kills on enemies. They'll have way more health than I can do it in a single attack. I hit them with an attack, they die. And it's 2% for every adrenaline point. So in most cases it's 2 or 4%. If you've been in a fairly long fight or fighting a fairly large amount of enemies, it goes up to a 6% chance, which is significant with the amount of hits you do with fast attacking. Cat School Techniques, this is from General Grey. Every bit of light armor increases my critical hit damage. And fast attack damage. So, pretty basic thus far. And for my... This is somewhat spoilery if you haven't played the main game, I suppose, but in Blood and Wine you can further mutate yourself to get these abilities here. And the one I'm using is Bloodbath. So every time I kill someone with a sword attack, it does a cool finisher or dismemberment of some description. So it makes things look cooler, essentially. Also, you do a bit more attack damage as the fight progresses, which is also somewhat useful. But this is essentially Rule of Cool, is the main reason I'm using this. And I think I'm not actually going to level up yet, because I want to max all of these out first. So I need these 3 are left to unlock. And after that I will have this unlocked and I'll be able to then build out some more attack power skills. In fact, what I think I probably will do is move both of these down to here and put some more alchemy skills in here. It'll lower my attack power a bit, but it'll give me more health, essentially. Anyway, that's my build, as we've wasted a fair amount of time. Time to head out this way. I think there's a bear out here. Guarding standing... There is indeed a bear out here guarding a standing stone. Hello, bear.
Damn, you're ugly.
Gwen saved my life there. It's the first bear I've killed.
Medallion's humming. Place of power, it's gotta be.
silver sword, interestingly. It's one thing that doesn't make a lot of sense in this game, which is a workaround you have to give to all games, is the fact that all these people have loot that doesn't make any sense. I mean, witches are pretty much the only people who use silver swords. Although, I guess it's probably common knowledge that most monsters are susceptible to silver. So I guess perhaps people would decide to carry silver swords? Maybe? Not pure silver. There's another lore point. Quite obviously, because you can't have a pure silver sword, it wouldn't be strong enough to be able to do anything. It's essentially silver-edged. Full emerald. Some good loot in these. See, these apparently are the smuggler's cache. Because it's forcing me to manually loot them. That's how I can tell the difference. The AutoLoot mod makes it such that... Can I jump out of the water here, please? I can, thank you. The AutoLoot makes it such that... Do I want to do these as well? Yeah, why not? The AutoLoot makes it so it will AutoLoot everything. Just by you click it once, it'll just AutoLoot it, won't take up that little menu, unless it's a quest item. And the reason for that is so it doesn't skip quest dialogue and things like that. Which is a good idea. Oh, deserters. Oh, you're fucked. You, I want it to get to you.
Show me what you got.
Is there any other arrow guys? I don't think so. These guys seem fairly easy to beat. They're level 58, so they're one level above me.
Come on!
Uh-oh. Ow. That didn't do anywhere near as much damage as I thought it would. You got me through a tree there, I call bullshit. And that's why I have Bloodbath on, because straight up the rule of cool, everything looks amazing when you use it. Sure. See the difference between the chest and the bags, or sacks there? One's the chest I had to loot because it was the actual point for this quest. Whereas the other one's not as much of an issue. Like here-ish, I think. As I said, going through these points of interest, there's nothing particularly exciting about them. They're essentially just combat. But at the same time, you notice they're all labelled deserters. So these are all people who deserted the army and didn't fight in the battle that is just up that hill over there. And they've turned to banditry, because what else are you supposed to do? You can't really go back to society. Everyone's like, oh, you're a deserter. No one likes deserters. Except for deserters' wives, perhaps. Keeping them alive. Although, you have that measure of dishonor, maybe? I don't know. Hello!
Fucking bastard! What? Oh, you witch fucker!
How does he know I fuck witches? I mean, I kind of do.
Hero, eh?
Simple enough. Wolves over there. I believe this here is... Oh, there we go. Angrily scrawled notes. What am I supposed to fucking die for? To marry her? Da died for that. So did my 3 brothers. And what'd that get 'em? Fuck all, that's what. Not even a decent burial. Da always said a wise man learns from others' mistakes. So here I am, learning from his. Instead of dying for Temeria, I'm going to rob those who killed Temeria's sons. We pitched a camp, got us a great spot, middle of the woods, near the old mill. Now we're all set to go out for our first raid. No way he was particularly angry in that note, but... I mean, kind of understand his reasoning, but at the same time, desertion, not a good look. Location, Amavet Fortress, I suppose that's what this is. Persons taking part, Sir Ignatius Verieris. It's an odd last name. Bart, the bailiff, Andreas Bloom, Sir Ignatius's underling, Kami, Guardian Belsi, suspect Colgrim, Witcher of the Viper School. The Witcher Colgrim stands accused of kidnapping Vitti, son of Paul, a beekeeper residing in White Orchard. Suspect was detained pending trial. Upon detention, he was searched and a diagram for the forging of a steel sword was found on his person. It is suspected this sword was used to intimidate or possibly kill the kidnapped child. It is likewise suspected that the accused possesses other such diagrams for the forging of death-dealing implements. Though none have been found to date, Sir Ignatius has requested the Witcher undergo preliminary interrogation with the application of torture. This will take place once a torturer with the proper qualifications has been found. A torturer with the proper qualifications. Interesting. Addendum. It was later discovered drowners were responsible for the boy's disappearance. Unfortunately, Colgrim died before this information reached the investigators. So rather than face the Baronet's judgment... Baronet, I suppose? I don't know what that word is. I guess Baronet is a female baron? Maybe? In any case. He chose trial by ordeal. Sir Ignatius agreed and ordered he cleanse the Verieris? It's an odd surname. Family crypt of spectres. Colgrim never emerged from said crypt. It is highly likely that motley wraiths, spectres, and evil powers residing therein provided too much for him. We actually heard, just in the background, a couple of women talking about this very thing. And talking about how there was a young boy who was killed, or suspected to be kidnapped, and they thought it was a Witcher who did it, and he died, and then they found out it wasn't even the Witcher who did it. It wasn't even the Witcher who did it! That's interesting. Well, you have scavenger hunt for the Viper School gear. Wolves over here. Can I get down from here without dying? I'm gonna quick save and find out. Indeed I can. I'll leave the wolves alone. Interesting. Fist stack on them. I'm gonna get rid of this marker on my map because it's annoying me. I'll clear this out. Yeah, I don't even need a marker for that. I'm just gonna clear that out first. I believe it's drowners or something. Something like that. There you go. Talking about Bastien. Looks like drowners to me and a place to climb down. Buried treasure. Drowner underwater. Something up there? Oh, it's the... I know what that's. Bastien's dog. Alright, I'm gonna do this quest and then I think I'm gonna call it. Again, this will probably be over time, but whatever.
Do that often? Talk to your dog?
It's my brother's, Bastien's, but guess he's mine now. See, Bastien fought the Black Ones in a battle just outside the village. Haven't had word of him since. I told him, do like I did, lose a finger or two so they won't recruit you. Too damn afeard he was. Bloody hell.
I'd walk the battlefield if I were you.
I did. Sea of corpses. And corpsers, feeding. Someone told me they're afeard of fire, so I took a torch, tried to chase them off. Poor shite, I tell you. Would have ended up eaten alive if it weren't for Hussar here. Listen, guessing you carry those swords for more than show. Come with me, keep the ghouls off. Help me find Bastien and I'll pay you well.
Sure.
Fine, I'll help you. Just been a few days since the battle. Chances we find your brother alive are slim. Very slim.
Who would have thought? But I want to find his body at least. So Bastien don't rot there in the sun with the Black Ones. Meet me on the hill overlooking the battlefield. We'll move on together from there.
Now we can walk with him without much trouble, but I believe there's a nest that we can take care of along the way. So I'm going to go do that, and then meet him up there. This, by the way, is where we started the game. We came and ran through here. Directive number A289. Burying the bodies of hanged deserters and rebels is hereby strictly forbidden. Anyone caught trying to cut down hanging corpses will be summarily executed. Jesus. General Merwin Rosyn, Viceroy of the Province of Temeria. I mean, it's a good way to get bloody... Oh. Interesting. Was this a man who was trying to cut them down and then summarily executed? Perhaps. Or, perhaps he was killed by these bloody ghouls that are just over here. Also more than likely, if you leave hanging corpses up. There are no ghouls.
Ghoul nest. Ought to just destroy it.
Well, this was easy. Oil makes ghouls and wolves and things. Things that have a lot in a small group, fairly easy to take care of. There's one more over here. Ghouls heal as well, which is somewhat annoying. Did it auto-loot? It did not auto-loot this. Good. That's cleared out. And I can run straight up here and meet Bastien. Not Bastien, his brother. June.
You're here, good. Bastien...
June Wildevert.
His body must be here somewhere.
Among countless others. Want to examine them one by one? Could take a while.
You needn't fret. The recruits from White Orchard painted a small flower on their shields so as to be able to spot each other in battle. There was just a few of them. We look for the flowers, we'll find Bastien quick.
No offense, but many a soldier's dropped his shield. Especially if he was on the losing side.
If we find the shield alone, Hussar will catch the scent and lead us to Bastien. Come on. Sooner we get this done, the better.
Makes sense. Got a dog. And we have ghouls.
So many corpses. And the war's just started.
See, look at this fire damage. It does significant. I don't even have particularly high sign intensity, and it does a lot of damage. It does about a sword hit per tick, and it does 2 or 3 hits per hitting it with that club is going to do next to nothing. Well, I mean, I blame Vern for that one. And as I said, enemies in this game, on New Game Plus, on Death March, easily one-shot you the vast majority of the time. I mean, I wasn't full health, which has something to do with it. But at the same time, they do a lot of damage.
The war just started.
If Ghoul is by himself, we should be able to take him out fairly simply. So he's healing more than he's taking damage. No, he was bleeding some more. I take it back. He's bleeding currently, that's why you can see two numbers going past. The green one is his healing, the other one is not. I'm gonna just take out this ghoul, because...
Where are you going? Help me!
I'm not running, I'm killing the ghoul. Alright, ghouls are dead. Should make it easier. Guardian shield. Temerian shield?
That him?
No. Doesn't look anything like him.
SR is very
Come on,
loud.
SR! Can you smell Bastien, boy? Still nothing.
I believe it's actually this one.
Skin's burned off. Might be hard to tell, I know, but could this be him?
Oh, yeah. Bastien was big, broad-shouldered. This one seems smaller, but maybe it's the fire did that. He found him! Hussar's caught his scent! Come on!
Come, Hussar. It's actually quite annoying, I won't do that.
But there is more. My lieutenant demanded we defecate on command. Ballista bolts, landing all around, and all he could say was, "A soldier with a full stomach will not step onto the battlefield." Now shit, that is an order. Can you believe it? The cretin.
Stop! You're killing me. My ribs. It hurts to laugh.
That needs a tourniquet. But first, want to explain what's going on here?
Bastien! Is he... Has this Nilfgaardian captured you?
No. He saved my life. I got a cut to my side, and then got hit in the head. Couldn't see anything. Rosyn here found me as he crawled across the battlefield. His legs twisted. And so we were. Blind man leading a cripple. Found this place.
I'm taking you home. We need to see to these wounds.
I won't leave Rosyn here. Alone he'll die. And he can't go back to his home. He's deserted. They'll hang him.
And what if they find him with us? They'll hang us all, my Laisha included. No, the Blacken stays here.
Bastien only made it with the Black One's help. Maybe you ought to show him Nordlings aren't as barbarous as Nilfgaardians make us out to be.
Well, I could give him our pa's clothes, teach him to work the field. But that accent... Fine, I'll take him in. Thank you, Witcher. Your reward, and the gods protect you.
Rosyn. That was the name. I mean, it could just be a common Nilfgaardian name, but it was the name that was on the note about hanging, or rather killing the people who cut down hanged deserters. Interesting. I wonder if that's... It's probably not related, because I feel like it was put up by a Temerian anyway, if I remember correctly. In any case, it's about time. If sure, I'll go clear this out, because I can. And then it's going to be it. Because, once again, upload speeds. Not what I'd call good. You notice I don't lock on, which occasionally gets me that problem where I go in the wrong direction. If I got a coin up, I feel fairly safe. No, I don't. So once again, potential one-shots. I think these ones are fine. I think these ones are fine because their regeneration was a lot lower, which I think actually means that their damage is a lot lower.
Medallion's humming. Place of power. It's gotta be.
Gold ruby ring. Not bad. I like Gould. He came out late. Interesting. 150 experience. I guess that was probably the ghoul. Half the time with these nests, after you blow them out, a stronger enemy will come out and attack you. I think that's what was happening. It was just delayed. And that's why I got 150 experience when I killed it, because it was technically finishing that clearing out of that point of interest. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to run over here. I think there's a waypoint. Yep. Kakla Bridge. It's a teleport point. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.